Let's make a grilled cheese. Now listen, there's a very important thing you have to learn before you start making grilled cheese, and that is do not criticize how others make their grilled cheese. It is okay to provide feedback on grilled cheese, but you do not sit there and tell someone that what they have made is not grilled cheese unless they totally fuck up even the most basic elements of grilled cheese. It's okay to criticize toppings. Toppings is a personal preference and you can have fun badgering each other about what you would put on a grilled cheese, but do not insult someone for making a grilled cheese in a different way than you do. Okay? Alright. Let's talk about ingredients. Don't ask about the stove. I know the stove looks like a mess. We got 9 people in this house and we're constantly cooking. There's just no time to clean in between. The most important part of a grilled cheese sandwich is the kind of cheese you use. Colby Jack. Provolone. Sometimes you got no other options and you gotta use Kraft singles. I'm gonna be using Colby Jack because I'm also putting ham in my sandwich and I think Colby Jack goes well with some ham. And now I'm gonna put away the stuff I don't use because I'm not a fucking animal. The other ingredient you're gonna need for your grilled cheese is some bread. Today I'm using wheat bread because it's the only bread we got. I prefer white. Sometimes I like to go a little special, spend a little extra money on the rye bread. It's not a serious issue. Don't worry about it. Just use whatever fucking bread you got. If you want to take 2 hot dog buns and split them, make a 4-part grilled cheese sandwich, do that too. Again, we are not here to judge the specificity of the grilled cheese. You're also going to want to use mayonnaise instead of butter for anything. Trust me, don't ask questions, I'll explain why in a second. Next, you're going to want your pan. If you're like me and you live somewhere where people don't clean, that means you're going to have to clean your pan. Make sure you clean it well, because if you don't, you're going to get whatever they cooked as a lingering taste inside of your sandwich. And if you half-ass it, you'll get the forbidden ingredient, dish detergent. So here's the part everybody gets wrong. Everybody wants to turn the stove really high on one channel, double channel, medium. Don't do any of that. A grilled cheese simmers. It'll cook at some point and you need plenty of time to set up your sandwich. Set it to low. Don't be stupid. Set it to low. Now doing this with one hand is hard, so I'm just going to tell you what you got to do, okay? You're going to take your mayonnaise and you're going to lather it on the outside of your bread. This step is important. Make sure you put it on the outside of your bread. If you want to put it on the inside too, that's okay too, but make sure you put it on the outside. The reason we put it on the outside is because it'll cook it better than the butter. It's a better alternative than butter, and it just tastes a lot better. That's it. That's the secret of putting mayonnaise on the outside of a sandwich when you grill it, or of course put it on a stove or whatever it is you're gonna do to it. Just makes it taste better. Trust me on this. Give it a try if you haven't. I think you'll like it. You can thank me later. Alright. Another great reason you just want to put mayonnaise on one side of the sandwich and usually the outside is because it allows you to hold it like this in place while you're waiting for everything else to finish making. Alternatively, if you have some kind of vegetable spread and you don't want to put mayonnaise on your bread, you can always use the vegetable spread. It's a lot healthier than the butter and the mayo put together. But in my opinion, the mayonnaise on the outside makes it taste better, and we're willing to take the extra hit to our cholesterol. Alright, okay. Now this part's going to be really hard because I got to open that and that cheese and put it on top of the underside of this bread once I put it on top of here. And then I only got a few minutes or seconds really to talk to you and explain to you why I'm doing it that way. But my point is that the minute this touches that, you want to start putting that onto this so that you can put this on top of that. You got it? Cool. Pay attention to the thickness of your ingredients. If your ham is a fucking gargantuan size of Serrano like I have here, you don't want to put a whole fucking slice of this into your sandwich. It's going to ruin the consistency. It's going to be too thick and you're going to end up pulling it out of the cheese, ruining the sandwich's consistency entirely. In that same kind of breath, this fucking cheese right here is also pretty thick, so make sure you don't put too much cheese. I know that's kind of a counterintuitive statement when you're making a grilled cheese, but trust me, there is a bread to cheese ratio that you can fuck up entirely on your grilled cheese. Like I said, I'm not judging. I'm just guiding you on how to make a better grilled cheese. Bread. You want to put pattern the cheese in diagonals so that you get the most surface area out of your slices. And make sure you have it set up straight so that it's kind of flat. You don't really want any pieces bending over because that's not going to melt as nicely into the concoction you're generating. Some of it falling out is fine, but again, be careful. 1 slice of cheese on top. You're going to think I'm crazy, but hear me out. You put another piece of cheese on this, It's going to be even on both sides, and you're not going to have any asymmetry when you bite into it. And the whole sandwich is going to be too tough to bite through consistently. You want asymmetry on your sandwich so that it's harder to bite on one side but easier to bite on the other, so you can successfully rip away every single bite on your grilled cheese. Now we're going to take a little seasoning. This is my personal favorite seasoning. I got it from work. Didn't pay for it. Do I care? No. The store was going to close. They closed it early during COVID. I'm out of a job. I think it's a fair trade. You put a little bit. You don't go crazy with it. That's fine. Don't need to go nuts with it. It's okay, because we're going to be seasoning this bread. Grab a spatula. Try not to use a metal one. You usually prefer plastic ones because they don't scratch the pan and then you don't get metal shavings in your food. Plastic spatulas, always better. Now I'm going to try to flip this with one hand. It's an incredibly difficult procedure. I probably won't get it right. Well, what do you know? I fucked it up. As you can see, with it set on low, the damn thing hasn't even started cooking yet. So now would be a good time to set it up just a little bit warmer. You don't want to go too high. Maybe like here at the 2 o'clock, 2 or 4, somewhere in between, kind of like a 3 is hard to see, but there's numbers there. If you don't have numbers on your stove, just kind of follow along as best as you can. Just a little bit above low. This thing's going to get super hot and you got to start doing some real-time trial shit. Take your seasoning, just a little more. Don't get crazy with it. Don't get fucking crazy with this, all right? Don't over-season your food. Don't under-season your food, but definitely don't over-season your food because then your food just tastes like the seasoning you put in it. Smush. If you're paranoid like I am and you don't trust your own cooking abilities, go ahead and flip it over once or twice. Don't worry about fucking up the positioning. If you start seeing that the thing is falling over, that means it's not ready to flip yet. Once you've got it flipped over and made the adjustments you needed to make, go ahead and season this side too. Again, not too much. It's not an exact science. And personally, with all the shit going on, there's more important things to worry about than how you or I or anybody else for that matter makes a grilled cheese. Unless you totally fuck it up and it stops being a grilled cheese and more like a ball of dough with some cheese in it. An advanced technique you can do if you start seeing too much spilling on the sides is kind of tuck it in with your spatula. It's a little hard to get on camera, but you essentially just kind of fold it in like you would putting the kids to bed. This somehow reaches Gordon Ramsay and he starts criticizing the grilled cheese that I'm making. I'm going to go ahead and give him the pass on that. Gordon Ramsay is a professional chef with a lot of more experience than I do. If he wants to criticize the way I make my sandwich, well, that is entirely within his prerogative and a smart business decision considering his persona in the American culinary entertainment scene is such. Not gonna blame him. He's just doing his job and using his expertise to criticize food. It's all for fun and games. I'm not gonna hold it against him. I love you, Gordon. While you're waiting, go ahead and take a sip of beer. Then take another sip because that thing takes forever. I prefer my grilled cheese a little bit toasty. If you don't like it like that, you can kind of scrape off some of that toastiness. You'll save the taste. Trust me, it won't be too bad unless it's like totally black. After you flip it over, once you're done taking your beer break, be careful because the other side is going to burn a lot faster than this side is once you flip it over because the pan's a lot hotter now and the bread's toasting a lot faster because the food entirely is just a bit more dry. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The other side took about 2 minutes to make. This turned this color in about a minute. Again, if you want, I'll show you. You can just take a knife and just sort of scrape it off. We're just trying to make a decent meal that's not going to make us cry into our pillows at 2 a.m. because we just got back from work. We're very tired. The current events at home and abroad. Turn the stove off. Don't be an idiot. Take the pan. This is how you ruin a pan. Don't do this. I just like doing it because I like watching the steam and I'm a chaotic soul. If the pan was dirty when you had to use it, then you leave it in the sink for the next guy to clean it up. Chances are the same guy that left it there in the first place is the one that's going to use it next. These are just the laws of equivalent exchange. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. Now clean up. And don't ask me why our bread's on the floor. I don't know either. Have another drink. Congratulations. You just finished making grilled cheese, but we're not done yet. So this part's a little hard to show you, but I'm going to show you how to cut a grilled cheese perfectly in a way that'll make you feel good about yourself, bring a smile to your face, give you a story to tell the kids when you come home from work, reinvigorate your faith in the human condition, you know, all that good stuff. You want to do an emotion that's hard to describe, but the onomatopoeia sounds a little bit like rappa. It's going to be hard to show on video, but I'm going to give it a good shot. Now, obviously, I didn't do such a hot job doing that. Can't turn back the clock and fix the way you cut your grilled cheese. But, you know, usually comes out like that. Some people like to let the cheese melt a little more before they take it off the grill. Me, personally, I like it like this. And that's how you make a fucking grilled cheese. Do whatever you want with it. Be careful with the thickness of the sandwich compared to the thickness of the bread. Make sure you've got some asymmetry in there to make a good bite. Pay attention to the bread. The bread toasts really fast once like the preliminary heating has finished. So Yeah. Work fast, eat ass, enjoy your sandwich.